美国时事通，我是罗文。
Ron, very quickly, you did sell more shares of Tesla in the second quarter last year, 1.7 million shares roughly, 1.8 maybe. That's the second time I recall of you selling shares. I remember you joined us back in 2021, in March of 2021, after you had sold about a similar percentage. At the time, you said it wasn't that you didn't love Tesla, but it was getting to be too big of a position in your funds. Was this the same story in the second quarter?
Same story in the second quarter, and we sold maybe 5% more last month. Okay. So I think we probably have somewhere around 2/3 of the stock that we bought in 2014 to 16, and so everyone, I didn't sell any personally, and so everyone, has to deal with certain clientele, and I deal with the critiques of my clientele for how large the positions are, and if they get very large. I mean, right now, Tesla represents...
It's about 30% in one of the funds.
Well, I think it's around, in Barron Partners Fund, it's about 12% of the firm assets, and SpaceX is about 9%. So about 20% of our assets. So structure portfolios. That the interesting... So QQQ, Bloomberg, says that there's only two mutual funds in the United States that have beaten QQQ. It's 2,600 in the last 15 years. Barron Partners Fund is number one. Philadelphia Growth Fund is number two, and other 2,600. No one else has come close. And so so I have shareholders in our mutual funds, and when a position gets real large, like Tesla has become, our cost is $11 or $12 a share. Then they say, well, how can you have such a large position? And I made an exception after we bought as many shares as we did for clients between 14 and 16, and no one else wanted to buy stock, that I went to the board of our funds. I said I wouldn't buy any more stock, but I have to buy this stock. I'm not taking any corporate opportunity. All of the other funds I have already invested, but my deal with you, if you let me do it, and I said I wouldn't, but if you let me do it, then what I'll do is just make Barron Capital financially stronger. I'm buying it for them, not for me. And in addition to that, I'm the last in, I'll be the last out. So I won't sell a single share personally until I sell all the shares for clients. And that's what I've done. So even though we've sold maybe 1/3 of our stock for clients, I have not sold a single share personally.
Ron, do you think the bloom is off the rose at all for the EV transition, or at least for the mandates by whether it's states or the federal government to hasten the transition? And does that matter with Tesla, since there's so many other things?
Once you get to scale, nobody can compete. The Chinese feel that there's only one competitor.
Everyone's going to want electric cars.
Yes, everyone.
Okay.
And except if you're going to be a car collector, like if I collected the car that I had in high school and kept it, that would be...
That was a Model T.
No, it wasn't. It was a Triumph.
It was a joke, because that would have been
1964.
Right, that would have been like 19.
But it was a red. So I was a lifeguard. I hurt myself, and so I got disability for $600. And I took the $600, and my father took me to some place in New Jersey, and I bought a used red Triumph.
You were a lifeguard too. Did you know this corn pop fellow?
Who?
No, go ahead.
No.
That's a Biden joke.
I was a lifeguard in the daytime, and then I worked in the emergency room. I worked 9 to 5 as a lifeguard, and 11 to 7 in the emergency room.